Hometown Ghost Stories contains serious and often distressing events and is not intended for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Hometown Ghost Stories Cursed Possessions. Let's talk about one of the most deadly cursed possessions we have ever talked about on this show. Many rank it as the most deadly cursed item in the world. And with a track record of wiping out entire families, it's hard to not rank this as one of the most cursed possessions on the planet. What is that item, you might ask? Some call it the goddess of death, others call it the women from Lemb. The world is full of mysteries and legends, many of which revolve around ancient artifacts and sculptures that have captured the human imagination for centuries. One of these items is the Lemb statue. It's called the Women from Lemb, and some call it the Goddess of Death. So the item is a small statue, looks kind of unassuming, it's made completely out of limestone, and it was unearthed back in 1878 on the island of Cyprus. While its origins remain shrouded in mystery, the statue is often associated with a curse. What we know about it is it affects those who own it, and it could also affect those who touch it or interact with it. So as I said, the statue is made completely out of limestone. It's about 14.5 centimeters tall, and it was discovered in the ancient city of Lemb near modern-day Nicosia, Cyprus. It dates back to the Chalcolithic period, around 3500 to 3000 BC, making it one of the oldest known human figurines. Its small size and unique features have led archaeologists to speculate about its significance and purpose. So the curse that's associated with this small statue began to circulate shortly after its discovery. The first owner was Lord Elfont. Within 6 years, all 7 members of his family dropped dead. The cause of death, we don't know, but multiple sources say it was under mysterious circumstances. The next owner was Ivor Minucci, and he had a similar experience. Within 4 years, him and his entire family were dead. And then, Lord Thompson Noel's family were the third to bring it into their home, and they all perished again within 4 years. For a while after that, the statue completely vanished. We have no idea where it went until it ended up in the hands of Sir Alan Beaverbrook. He died, his wife died, and 2 of his daughters also died. However, there were 2 sons that were still alive. They saw what was happening around them, apparently they knew about the history of this statue, and they decided it was time to get rid of this cursed possession. They would end up donating it to the Royal Scottish Museum in Edinburgh, Scotland, but the statue was not done yet. The museum curator who handled the statue died within a year. And so now it sits at the Royal Scottish Museum in Edinburgh, where the Goddess of Death is safe behind glass, or perhaps we are safe from it. So stick around as Rob, Dave, and myself discuss this cursed possession, the deadly history of the Goddess of Death, and whether or not we think this is a real cursed possession. I'm Jesse Wilkins, and this is Hometown Ghost Stories. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into Hometown Ghost Stories Cursed Possessions. I'm Jesse Wilkins. I'm joined by Rob Coakley. Hello, Rob.
I'm sitting here and I'm wondering if a curse for death or a curse for fertility is worse.
And that's why you have no family. We're also joined by Dave. Hello, Dave.
What's going on? Death is worse.
I think that's debatable.
Some people have some pretty shitty kids. I will say that.
You could say that.
I like my kids, though.
I like your kids, too.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Glad we settled that. We were all wondering. Does Uncle Dave
We've been
hate you?
wondering for 8 years.
Anyway, so welcome in, folks. This is Cursed Possessions. We haven't done one of these in a little bit. It's been a little while since we've done a Cursed Possession, but these ones are episodes in which we talk about items that are cursed.
Shocking.
Yeah. Or possessions that are cursed. And we've covered a lot of good ones on this show. We got the Busby chair. We got King Tut. We had a whole bunch of good ones. This one is one of the more deadly ones. I don't know if it would technically, numbers-wise, be the most deadly one, because you had the Busby chair, which killed God knows how many people. Probably 0, but could be a whole lot. We had King Tut's curse. That was a good one. That one killed a whole bunch. What were some of the more deadly ones that we've had on this show?
We had a dresser, I think was the most recent one that we've done. And it was the dresser that was carved by the guy. He ordered a slave to carve it, and then he hated it so much that he beat the slave to death. And then it killed a whole bunch of people after the fact, including a lot of members of that guy's family.
What a piece of shit he was, because that thing was so nice too.
It was beautiful.
He did a great job.
The best part of that whole story, though, was still the way to rid the curse, where you had to have like an unsuspecting stranger bring you an owl.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. It was also such a stupid, like, I don't know how they came to the conclusion that it's only if you put your clothes in the dresser do you die. Wasn't that the one? That was the same one, right? Yeah.
Same one.
Just seems like a silly way for a curse to work. But hey, these curses, they all work in mysterious ways. And one of those is if you put your clothes inside it. So this one here, this...
what do you have to put inside the fertility statue to be cursed?
Oh, God. Gotta make it fertile. Gotta make it fertile. This website is so bright that it's blinding my face every time to pull it up. So I don't know if I'm going to pull up the notes here, boys. I don't know. Look at this. Look at this. Ah! I don't know if I can get through this. Anyways,
completely washes out your hot dog tan.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I gotta turn it way down. All right. If I minimize the screen, it's not so bad. Anyways, so this one is, it's got to be the oldest one, right? How old was King Tut?
At least 20.
You got those when he died. I don't know. He was younger than that actually when he died. Wasn't he like 15? Anyways, that's not the question.
I meant now.
Yeah. How old are the pyramids?
Also at least 20.
You can't just throw like folks. We all look like idiots.
We have done so much research to be such useless people of useless knowledge. This is knowledge that we're supposed to have. How old was King Tut's tomb? Is that even what you say?
I don't think that's how you word it.
It's not, but I figured it out because Google is idiot proof for the most part. 3,000 years. So it was hidden for. So this is a little bit older than that. Actually, significantly older than that because this is 3,500 BC. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this thing is very, very old. So they dated it back to that. They discovered it actually a while ago too. It wasn't even like a recent discovery. They discovered it back in 1878. And basically throughout 4 generations, it killed multiple people. And some of these were not small families. So the first one killed a man and his wife, and I believe they had 7 kids. No, it was just 7 members of his
family. The fertility curse worked at first, though.
Well,
true.
No, because they already had the kids when they got the statue.
Yeah, so yes, it did the opposite.
Yeah, very fertile family beforehand, but yeah, they all got wiped out. So this was Lord Elfont. He was the first owner, and all 7 members of his family died. So him, probably his wife and 5 kids, that's what I would assume, they all died. It was all within 6 years of acquiring the statue. So some of these things, like we've dealt with this on curses before, where it's like, like he bought the curse painting, and then 35 years later, he bought the actual closet at age 105. You're like, I don't think that was the curse. I think that was just how life goes and death goes sometimes. So, but this was relatively fast, and all of these are relatively fast, obviously, in terms of what we're talking about here. But within 6 years, all 7 people died. So then it went over to Ivor Minucci. He was the second one.
Minucci.
Yeah, within 4 years, his entire family died.
So that's, if all this happens exactly the way that it is said that it happened, that is hard to dismiss as coincidence. The entire family. I think it's even harder to, the fact that it happened in like a 4-year period, in a 6-year period, there's short amounts of time for every single member of the family to die, unless they all die at once. Like if the whole family dies in a car accident or something, it's not unusual that they would all die in a shorter period of time. But for them to all die separately in different ways over the course of 4 to 6 years, that's like, it seems like too coincidental.
It's heavy stuff. I mean, it's too fast. And then it's with multiple families. And this isn't even where the story ends. So the second family got it, and they all died within 4 years. And then it goes to Lord Thompson Noel's family, and his entire family also perished, this time also within 4 years. So the time span could be getting shorter. Obviously, this one is very similar to the previous one with 4 years within 4 years. We don't know if it's actually getting shorter, but they're both obviously shorter than 6 years. So seems like bigger family maybe took a little bit longer for all of them to die, but yeah, it's wild. And then for a while after that, I guess it disappeared. So we don't really know where it went for a while, but it ended up.
Something we see with cursed possessions too is there'll be a ton of havoc that it wreaks. It'll kill a whole bunch of people, and then it will just disappear for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. It happened with the
Swansea Devil disappeared for a while.
Yep, that one. A different one that I covered. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but just disappeared for a while.
The Hope Diamond did as well. Mm-hmm. That disappeared for a while as well. What I find interesting about this one in particular is we're talking. The thing I always have an issue with, it's like, how did you pinpoint that was the cursed possession? Like, because for example, the dresser. If that's going from family to family, that's not like an artifact that was found. That's just something that was made in the 1800s. I guess you could trace it, but it seems a little more far-fetched when we're talking about an item that was dug up, right? So this item was dug up, it was documented, and then it went to a family. It's being tracked a little bit better than something that was just like a bar stool that was made or something to that effect. So I think these hold a little more credit because you are going to track which house it went to, where it's been, and then you start to see the devastation that's left behind on every house that it's been in. Does that make sense?
It does, because this also makes it so like it's easier to pinpoint what is the cursed object. If an entire family is cursed and it turns out it's your spoons, who would have ever guessed it? You know what I mean? But if it's a historical artifact, especially one that is this old, people know where it is. Like, oh yeah, this prominent person bought it, this prominent family bought it, and now it's at their house. Oh, their whole entire family died. And then for some reason, someone keeps buying it. So you do wonder, when did they make the connection that this is a cursed thing? And when did they figure out that it was a bad idea to have this in your house and around your family? And it seemed like the final family to own it, once people started dropping dead, the two sons up and picked it up and were like, we got to get rid of this thing. We've heard of what it does.
This was after it disappeared for a while?
Yeah, so after it disappeared for a while, it ended up with Sir Alan Beaverbrook.
Well, I think that answers your previous question, which is like, at what point do you realize that this is what's causing all the death? You have 3 or 4 families that get completely wiped out, and then you have a whole bunch of dots. Somebody connects those 4 dots to those 4 families, or however many it was, and says, oh shit, it's this artifact that's been transferred to each family. Let's bury it. And that's where it disappears for all that time.
Oh, maybe it went missing. I am curious to see how it got uncovered. And
I see, my assumption is somebody took it and just didn't display it or tell anyone about it, and then it ended up in an auction or something, and that's how Beaverbrook got it.
It must be. It must have been. We don't know how this curse works exactly, but it's obviously it's an artifact, and it must have been selling for a good amount of money. And families are dying. It's getting auctioned off, and then maybe somebody just took it, and maybe they stored it away in a warehouse or something without even thinking, because this happens with antiques, right? Maybe they stored it away with their idea to open up a museum someday or something along those lines, right? We're just speculating here. But maybe it was away from this guy's whole family and he didn't have it inside of his house. And maybe this is why this man or woman didn't end up dying from it. And then eventually maybe that person did die.
Did die, yeah.
And maybe it did end up back at auction again. And then this is how the Beaverbrooks ended up with it. So with these ones, It was Sir Alan Beaverbrook, and his wife, and both of his daughters all died. So you have another family of 4. However, there were still 2 surviving sons, and these guys, they just took it and they just donated it to the Royal Scottish Museum in Edinburgh, in Scotland. So just another reason for Scotland to be haunted. Edinburgh, we've talked about it plenty of times before. Very haunted place. And now apparently that's where that statue sits to this day.
I thought it was pronounced Edinburgh. Edinburgh.
Yeah, Edinburgh. But it wasn't done. The curator who handled it also died.
Idiot.
So it's just way to go. Yeah. So it's in that museum. At what price? No mas curator. That's very unfortunate. So this thing, there's so many of these curses that we've done where I'm like, yeah, I'd give it a go. You know, I think even like the Annabelle doll, which is widely regarded as potentially one of the most cursed items in the world. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I would go, I wouldn't be disrespectful, but I would go visit that doll and you know, you want to obey the rules when you're at these kinds of places, but I don't find that one particularly intimidating to me. Like I think I would go experience the Annabelle doll. I wouldn't break the rules. I wouldn't go touching the thing, you know, but I'm just saying,
up in the air like a small child and catching it and saying, it's not your game plan for the Annabelle doll.
Pretty sure that's what the Annabelle doll wanted, right? All it wanted to do was be accepted and just be treated like a person. Pretty sure that's how that one went. So, but this one in particular, it just seems like don't even bother. It does look very silly. It's a silly looking object, but it just looks like an ancient artifact, you know?
Well, that's what people looked like back in 3000 BC.
Yes, they were shaped like maple leaves. I don't know, but it's one of those things where it's like, I would like to see it from a distance, but I would never like touch something like this. It's just, the risk is too high. And obviously this thing has a very deadly record of wiping out entire families and basically it seems like it killed like everyone that got their hands on it. Now, I don't know who discovered this thing. It was 1878. So it's quite a long time ago. I don't know what the fate was of the people who discovered it, but I would say, you know, just due to its track record alone, better leave this one alone. What are your thoughts?
We don't know like the origin of the actual curse.
No,
like what the curse is.
They don't know
why.
No, it's 3,500 BC. That's a very long time ago to have any sort of origin story, but I don't think it was
the Bible's about that old.
Well, it was unearthed in Cyprus in 1870. I don't know. I don't think it, when it says unearthed, it sounds like they just dug it up. I don't know if it was inside of a tomb or a crypt or anything like that, but
right.
With those, like with some of the ancient Egyptian tombs, you have hieroglyphs and you have text that you can kind of connect these curses back to and stuff like that. But this doesn't appear to have any of that kind of stuff. And it doesn't really have markings on it. It just kind of looks like it has some scratches in it, but there's no verbiage. There's tough to,
yeah,
I
would surmise that if it came out of a tomb or something like that, then we'd know about it and we'd know a lot more about it. So it probably was just unearthed, some archaeological find or something.
We also don't know if it was, so we just know what it did from the 1870s on. This is also one of those ones where maybe the curse was active back in 3000, 4000 BC, and that's why it was buried. People were like, fuck this thing, and then they just went and buried it to try to get rid of the curse.
That's a great point.
Yeah, this thing could have been wreaking havoc all over the place. So some things are better left buried, and I'm sure all 4 of those families, plus the poor museum curator in Edinburgh, would agree that.
I thought we were about to get a Pet Cemetery quote there. Some things are better left dead.
Yeah, this is one that I'm sure that they wish that they left it buried underground. So
no, sorry. Sometimes dead is better. Is the quote, I think.
Well done. That has to be the most quoted movie on this show is Pet Cemetery, the original, right? Absolutely. So
you don't want to go over there by that fertility statue.
Don't go near that fertility statue. So they nickname it the Goddess of Death. Certainly earned its name. And it's just, it's a big old nope from me. It's a big old, I believe that this is a curse. We're talking about entire families. So where do you guys mark this one? It's a big nope from me. It's a big, I'm not messing with this thing. I think this is probably one of the more terrifying and authentic cursed items that we've dealt with. That's where I'm at on this. Where are you guys at on this one?
I don't disagree that it's terrifying, and I don't disagree that I'm with you with I probably wouldn't mess with this one either. I just think like on a lot of these, you can write so many of the deaths off as obvious coincidence, like you joked about earlier. But this one, I think it's so weird that every family member dies within such a short period of time for every single, and I don't think the curse missed either. I think every single family it hit, it wiped out the whole family, right?
Except for the last one, where
the last one.
Kids donated it before they died as well.
They are probably dead now, though, I would assume, at this point.
Most likely.
Yeah.
So, curse lives. I, for one, am not going near this thing because I do not want to die, and I also don't want kids. So, that's a double whammy for me.
Yeah, what if you go near it and all of a sudden, boom, fertility rob? Then you're pregnant. Yeah. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
What a twist. So, let us know what you think. Is this one of the most deadly? Is this the most deadly cursed object? Do you believe in it? Let us know in the comments below, or send us a message, join up on Discord. Let us know what you think about the goddess of death, the women from Lemb. I find it weird that that's pluralized, but that's kind of how they have it written here in this article that I'm looking at. So not the woman from Lemb, the women from Lemb. One statue, though. So could it be a typo? Could it be a real curse? Find out next time on Hometown Ghost Stories. I think that'll pretty much do it. Anything else, gentlemen?
That's going to do it for me.
Very good. If you like the show, best way to support the show is Patreon. The other good way and the free way to support the show is leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or drop a comment on Spotify if you don't have Apple Podcasts. But do leave us a review. We do need as many as you can. Also, we have a brand new YouTube channel. So if you're watching this on YouTube now, check out HTGS Reviews. That's where we're going to be uploading all of our horror movie reviews as well as other reviews, TV series, horror video games. We'll be doing some booktube stuff, so reviewing some horror books as well. So definitely swing over. The link will be down below in the chat or in the show notes to subscribe to that channel. Do so right now. It's looking sad and thin and brand new, and it's in its infancy. So be sure to drop a subscribe on HTGS Reviews. Our patrons for our VIPs, we have Allison V, Dakota G, Jeannie R, Jennifer P, Lisa J, Mike Oubliette Blake, Mom and Pops W, Robert H, and Inspires Gaming. Thank you so much for being VIPs. For the Warrens Wards, we have Ambi Rose, Anna C, Kath Q, Chris C, Cody G, DC, Donnie N, Elizabeth Young, Lily, Jake V, Janice G, Marfire, Matthew T, Papa Squatch, Rachel B. We have Sarah Cook, Steph A of the Church of the Stephanies, Stitch Kitten, Sydney B, the other Rachel B. Thank you so much. And for the Ghost Pirate Mafia, we have Al Capone. We have Al Capone's allegedly poorly clothed folding bed. We have Al Capone's allegedly poorly taxidermied wife, Alicia Espinoza. I almost got through it. Anthony, character limits be damned T. Ashley M. Brandon W. We have Brennan, a.k.a. Madge Archibald Butt. Just recently changed again. We have Captain McSlugs.
Major.
Colby 0204, Crystal Quinn, Huska. Huggy Bear, Joe R, Kirley J, Michaela T, Mina H, Mariah M, Murder Cow, Nick, Nut House Queen. We have Paul from St. Louis, Pork, Sam from the Paul, Sarah R, Scotty L, Solar Flare, and the Big Spag Nasty. Thank you so much for being members on Patreon. $3 a month, ad-free episode, early access to disasters just like this, as well as a lot of bonus content coming out in Halloween season, spooky season. October is coming. Winter is coming. And it is spooky season, so get ready for it. Anyways, I think that'll pretty much do it. Anything else, gentlemen?
That's it for me.
Cool. All right, we'll see you guys next time for another episode of Hometown Ghost Stories. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Jesse Wilkins here, Hometown Ghost Stories. Hope you enjoyed that episode. For more bonus side content episodes, swing on over to Patreon. Get early access to this stuff, as well as some Patreon exclusive stuff. For as little as $3 a month, you can join on Patreon and help support the crew. We put a lot of money, effort, resources into these videos, and every little dollar helps. So consider it Also, swing on over to the Discord. On the Discord, you can get access to us. You can contact us. You can share your stories, share your ghost pictures. It's just a better way to contact us. So swing on over to Discord. The link is below. It is free to join, completely free. Also, here are some other episodes that you can check out. Boom, boom. Check out those videos. Really cool stuff. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.